Were you smoking when you said you better than Nas?
I might have been a little bit. Well, as far as let's get this right. I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when we talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
You said that bullshit.
Yeah, I just seen the Breakfast Club. Jimmy popping all that bullshit. I be seeing Jimmy talking about, we Gucci boo-boo. He in the Gucci store. They're like, we Gucci boo-boo. The Black King nigga was going fuck up. Jimmy they was like, Marita Monero.
Man, things just got serious in the hip-hop world because 50 Cent just sent out a warning message to Jim Jones, and the entire internet is talking about it. It started with a cryptic post from 50, the kind that only he can pull off. Short, cold, and dripping with energy that lets you know he means business. No names were mentioned at first, but fans didn't need them. Everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. And when the dust settled, it was clear. This was aimed straight at Jim Jones. The post hit 50's socials late at night. A caption under a black and white photo of him in a bulletproof vest with the words, "I watch everything. Some of y'all forgot who you're talking to." Fans immediately flooded the comments. "He talking to Jim. That's a warning shot." And the timing couldn't have been worse for Jim because he had just done a podcast interview a few days earlier, throwing slick shots at 50. He called him corny, said 50 ain't street, and claimed real New York dudes don't rock with him. That's all 50 needed to hear to clap back. Not with words, but with power. And if you know 50 Cent, you already know. He never forgets. He's the most calculated man in hip-hop when it comes to feuds. He don't just talk, he plots. This is the same dude who buried Ja Rule's career, exposed Rick Ross's past, and made the industry scared to play with him online. So when he posts something vague but intense, fans know it's not just a joke. It's a statement.
Jimmy was not a rapper then.
Right.
He was your man, like on the side, just he was not a rapper at all.
Right.
So when Ballin' took place, and I'm looking and I'm going, oh, he having a moment. That's the Lloyd Banks. It's Lloyd Banks thing. He wanted that. He was watching them be that, like Mace be that, and Cam be that, and looked at, and it was finally he had one.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked, and I knew, I just took the shot, Murder, to see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. You gotta watch this. And you see, you're like, oh, you really like that. Give me this, give me Jimmy. Yeah, tell him we want him. We want you at this show, Jimmy. You ready? Yeah, but that was one of the things that just threw it out. Let's see what. And then when he bit to it, because it was like he was having a moment that not sure that was going to ever happen again at that point. And then he's going, for them, they had records that where, look, I always said it's just certain artists, I go, damn, when is he going to have his moment? Like,
insiders close to 50 said he's been irritated with Jim for months. Ever since 6ix9ine's trial, people online been resurfacing that wiretap audio where Jim's name got mentioned in connection to street politics. And 50's been subtly hinting that there's more to the story. But this time, that post wasn't subtle at all. It was a warning. He even followed it up with another message. You can fool fans, but not the real ones. Move right. That sealed it. 50 was definitely talking about Jim Jones. The internet instantly split. Some said 50 was being petty. Others said Jim had it coming. But what everyone agreed on was this. When 50 sends a public message like that, it's never random. He's strategic, and his timing always lines up with something behind the scenes, whether it's a TV show, a business move, or a beef 50 plays chess while everyone else plays checkers. And right now, Jim Jones just got put in check.
Put it like this, Jim. Hey, bro, you've been in this thing, but lyrically, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you.
Yeah,
y'all
but
ain't happy with us.
That's how you dress. You don't even be in the same places I be in. And the things that we,
I can be in the church house. You can't emphasize lyrics. I don't know who told you that. Now look, I know you on that good stuff, but you're not singing Nas.
Bro,
You're
it's
not
a bunch
seeing
of-
Nas, bro.
You got a bunch of
Let's be
40
real.
You got a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds in their panties because I said I'm better
It
than
don't
Nas.
matter.
Look at you.
Ain't- ain't nobody-
all in your
Ain't nobody from
field.
Dipset gonna take
Standing
you over the
Mats, no nobody else. Me, Jim Jones. Check my track record. Then check everybody else's track record. Then go to the billboards and check all my entries. Then check all them entries and like that. If you want to go to the billboard entries, pull up Nas billboard entries and pull up my billboard entries.
Can we address one thing though?
Go ahead.
Jim Jones has 9 entries in the Billboard 200 with 3 top 10 albums and no number ones, while Nas has 27 entries, 16 top 10 albums, and 6 that have reached number 1 on the Billboard 200.
Right now, 2025, I'm in the game still rapping at a high capacity. If Nas wants to smoke, come in the booth. I will rap
You don't want
circles
no
around.
smoke.
Jim Jones is rapping at a high capacity right now in
Right now,
2025. I'm on record as saying I think some of the best music that's been coming out of New York in recent years has been from Jim Jones. I haven't seen Nas in that mode. Nas still makes great music at a high level. I just haven't seen Nas in that, let's get active, getting at each other mode.
After 50 dropped that message, social media exploded. Every blog, every fan page, every gossip outlet was posting screenshots and saying the same thing. Jim Jones done woke up the wrong giant. Because let's be real, 50's not the type you test publicly. Once he starts throwing shade, he don't stop until someone taps out. And Jim should have known better, especially with their long, messy history. See, this ain't some random feud. These two been dancing around tension for years. Subtle jabs, sideways comments, and a lot of unsaid energy between Dipset and G-Unit. Back in the early 2000s, they were 2 of New York's biggest rap crews, both claiming dominance. There was never a full-blown war between them, but the rivalry was always in the air. 50 had G-Unit running the mixtape scene, while Jim and Dipset were flexing Harlem swag, fashion, and attitude. But underneath it all, both sides wanted to be the face of New York, and that's where the ego started clashing. Fast forward to now, and the beef's reignited over social media. Jim's recent comments rubbed 50 the wrong way. During that podcast, Jim said, "Fifth always got something to say about everybody else. He needs to worry about power, not the streets." He thought he was being funny, but 50 doesn't take disrespect lightly. Within 24 hours, 50 had already started posting, not memes, not jokes, but that calm, threatening tone that makes everyone uncomfortable. He doesn't yell. He lets the world do it for him. And what really made fans take notice was how different this felt. This wasn't just an internet troll moment. This was personal. You could tell by how fast 50's message went viral, but also how his energy felt serious this time. People close to him said he's tired of rappers acting like they're tougher or smarter than him when he's already proven himself in every lane. He's a street vet, a businessman, and a power player. And Jim's slick talk hit the wrong nerve. Then came the follow-up. 50 reposted a clip of Jim Jones from a few years ago, the one where he was getting emotional during an interview about Dipset loyalty, and captioned it, "All that crying for what? Be a man, not a meme." The internet lost it. Fans were tagging Jim left and right saying, "He caught you lacking twice now." Even some celebrities started chiming in, saying they knew it was about to get ugly. You could feel the tension building. Jim's tough guy image was being tested by one of the most fearless men in the industry, and 50 wasn't letting up.
I wasn't in the ad because of Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
Mhm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No. I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL has some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, "Yeah, I talked to the big homie. He said to Jay, he was telling me, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without 50."
I hit the homie, the big homie Jay-Z, right? And I told him to come pull up on me. And he pulled up on me. He said, "The white guy called for 50 Cent." So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. He said, "No, Eminem called directly for 50. He said,
That's
yo,
his guy.
he said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
Right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, big. And I'm not looking at go, oh, that should be going. Right? So you image yourself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with.
So now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they are, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
By day 2, the situation had officially blown up. You couldn't scroll online without seeing clips, reactions, and breakdowns of the 50 versus Jim drama. Academics even covered it live on stream, saying, Martin, this might be the biggest New York beef since 50 and Jai. And he wasn't lying. It had that same energy. The difference is 50 don't need to diss you in a song anymore. He's got the internet as his weapon now. Fans were dragging Jim all over social media, especially after old videos started resurfacing. People brought up that time he claimed to run New York and started comparing it to how quiet he's been since 50 spoke. You run New York? 50 just ran you offline, one user commented. The jokes were relentless, but the message underneath was clear. 50's influence still runs deep. But here's the thing, this ain't just about clout. This is deeper. 50's warning comes from a place of principle. In his world, loyalty, authenticity, and respect matter. And Jim's been rubbing people the wrong way for a while. From the Dipset fallout with Cameron to the 6 IX9 Ian wiretap drama that people still whisper about. 50's been watching that pattern. He's been sitting quiet while Jim plays the industry game, switching circles, chasing trends, and still trying to act like a street general. And when 50 finally speaks, he's not gossiping. He's reminding people he's still connected, still respected, and still dangerous in every lane. Insiders even claim 50's team made a few private calls after the post, telling certain people not to involve themselves in the mess or take sides. That's how serious it got. When 50 gets in that mode, it's not just social media shade, it's business. He protects his name like an empire. And if he's warning Jim, it's because he already knows something we don't. Meanwhile, Jim tried to save face. He went live, acting like he didn't care, laughing, and calling 50 a TV gangster. But his energy looked off, like he was trying to convince himself. Even fans pointed it out. They said, you can tell he's nervous. 50's in his head. Within hours, the comments were all clown emojis and 5th wins again hashtags. By that weekend, 50's post had racked up millions of views, and every major outlet covered it. The caption was short, but the message was clear. Don't play with 50 Cent. Not in interviews, not online, not in person. When he warns someone, something always follows. And the streets know when 50 moves quiet, he's about to move big.
I recently saw a clip on Instagram where a young kid was comparing you to Nas and saying that you got
Yeah, that's my young boy.
big hits.
He's wild.
Yo, he looked to you. He learned how to wear the BB Simon belt from you. He got his swag. Like, how crazy is that? Because in my era, you know what I'm saying? Nas is like a god.
In my era too. I mean,
So to be compared,
let me that young kid.
he was young and we loved that he loved Jim Jones. I want you to break that.
Let's break this down. I admired Nas. Remember, Nas' first record, The Barbecue, came out when I was in 11th grade. So Nas was my idol when I was young. Like you did, came to dressing, the wordplay, the music, everything. I was a superior Nas fan. Period. I'd never take that away from him. But then as I got in the game, you got to realize that your rivals would be idols, and not to take anything away from that, I developed my own style and my own lane that these kids start to gravitate towards the same way I gravitated towards Nas when I was younger and things like that. It's a whole different generation. We talking about 94, 93, I was in 11th grade. Nigga, it's 2025. There's a big gap there, you know what I mean? And I want people to understand that. So when Shorty's telling people that, yeah, he's 20-some years old. that goes to show the part of the era that he's in, that I came into light and started going crazy, that these kids love me. They don't really know who Nas is. If he's 22, he's born in 03.
Not all of them, some of them though.
You know what I mean? Like, but I hear the comparisons and then Nick be trying to act funny when it comes. No, I've been spanking a lot of this. I'm talking about the industry. I've been putting on. So let's not get into that where we get into numbers and I gotta show you the statistics of what I've done. You heard to what other people was done. You heard them. You want to go to the Billboard entries, pull up Nas Billboard entries and pull up my Billboard entries.
Listen, we can't compare the two. What I'm trying to tell you is
I want to go there. Hold on. No, I want to go down the line now because now we going down the line. He's a rapper and I'm a rapper.
Listen,
no. Let's go statistically.
It feels great.
No, but I want to go statistically.
All right, can I say something?
When people be like,
I feel the same way. We all feel the same way.
About the numbers. You heard my numbers back up.
Let me step up to the forefront.
By the time the dust settled, Jim Jones had already made things worse for himself. Because right in the middle of this mess with 50 Cent, he doubled down on the ego. Out of nowhere, Jim did an interview claiming he's better than Nas. Yeah, Nas, the same rap legend who built Queensbridge into a legacy before Jim even had a hit. The internet exploded instantly. Fans said Jim was officially out of pocket, like he was trying too hard to stay relevant by saying wild stuff. And the timing couldn't have been worse. 50 was already on his neck, and now he's disrespecting one of hip-hop's most respected kings. It was self-destruction in slow motion. The backlash was instant. Hip-hop fans started posting Jim's discography next to Nas's, clowning him mercilessly. Bro really said he better than Nas? Name one classic album, one tweet said. Others said it was a cry for attention, because ever since Dipset's run faded, Jim's been chasing the headlines instead of the hits. And that's what 50 Cent saw. To 50, this wasn't just another rapper talking. It was a man spiraling, chasing controversy because he can't compete musically. So 50 turned the silence back on and let the internet do his work for him. Every time Jim opened his mouth, he looked more lost. And every time 50 posted, he looked more powerful. That's when 50 dropped his final jab, another cryptic post of his Get Rich or Die Trying cover with the caption, "History always repeats itself." The message was clear. Jim Jones was walking the same path as Ja Rule, loud, defensive, and self-destructing, while 50 watched from a distance. Fans filled the comments saying, "He about to Ja Rule Jim Jones," and "Fifth don't even gotta say your name." The warning already hit. It was 50's signature move. Use silence and timing as the ultimate weapon. Meanwhile, Jim tried to save face with another interview, brushing off 50's posts and claiming he don't beef with millionaires. But fans saw right through it. They remembered how he said he was better than Nas just days earlier. And now he was trying to sound humble? The internet wasn't buying it. Clips of Jim calling himself top-tier rap were going viral next to footage of Nas performing one mic in front of packed arenas. The contrast was brutal. At this point, 50 didn't even need to clap back. Jim was burying himself one quote at a time. 50's silence was louder than any diss track. He didn't need to argue or drop bars. He already had the culture on his side. The warning worked. The message was clear. Stop trying to rewrite hip-hop history and respect the real ones who earned it. Because when 50 Cent gives you a public warning, he's not beefing. He's reminding you where the real power lies. And if Jim doesn't stop talking reckless, he might just become the next rapper 50 buries with memes instead of music.